Faceteer Gang, boy, what it do? Faceteer Gang. It's your boy Demarcus, and we back with another episode. Did I say that? Another episode? I don't even know what count we on right now, but we back with another one, and this one is actually going to be a short one. I just wanted to ask y'all a couple questions. What's something that you've accomplished, or something about yourself that you were surprised that you've done, where before it's something that you didn't really feel that you could do, or something that you're shocked about now that you finally put the time in to do that before you didn't even know that you would be at this point. So that's the first question. And the second question is, what's something about yourself that before you didn't embrace? And it can be a physical attribute, it can be a non-physical, but what's something about yourself before that you didn't embrace? And there could be reasons as far as environments and things that you was in, or there could be reasons for why you didn't embrace it, but you embrace it now. So what's something before you didn't embrace or you didn't like about yourself that you love now? And I can answer both of those questions. So for the first one, something that I've done that I'm more so shocked about, or that I more so had planned to work on, and then I finally got to a point to where I made it happen, I would honestly say is the discipline in the weight loss. And I've talked about my weight loss journey. I've shared an episode just about like things that I've been doing, but I don't know if I got a chance to really talk about as much as far as just why I'm proud of that. The main thing is because when I think about when I was younger, oftentimes, and I also give another answer as well too, but oftentimes there was insecurities I put on myself, and then also environments and stuff that I was in, especially growing up as a boy. Like, there's just different ways in which, people can perceive on what a man's supposed to look like or whatever. Oftentimes that comes with like you trying to have six pack abs and you trying to be like, a freak of nature when it comes to your physique. I always feel like my physique was behind, and I feel like I was a late bloomer in that. I'm someone that had like a little bit more visceral fat. I was really skinny, so I didn't have like muscle like that. So there was always ways in which I was insecure with that. Um, and I just felt as if for like how growing up, like you'd see, or when you were younger, you see in like this frame that women are talking about as far as the muscles and the abs, and I'm just like, I couldn't see myself ever getting that, which I don't have abs at the moment. But more so, even when I think about as far as just from my weight, there were times where I really thought that I was like fat, or I just really felt insecure just about me having visceral fat on my stomach. And in all honestly, it was all honesty, all I had to really do was just work out and really be consistent in the gym. But at the same time, I didn't truly know how to work hard and what that exactly looked like to consistently put in work over time. And something else, when I was younger, I used to get clowned on my eyebrows a lot, and just my physical appearance. I just felt like I just really wasn't up to par as a whole. As I've gotten older, if you knew how many women have stopped me to compliment me on my eyebrows, even my eyelashes, and be like, as a man, you don't even understand like what type of advantage you have. Like, women die for this type of stuff. And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, women like literally will, like, if they could have your eyebrows and eyelashes, like, so many women would have saved a lot of money in this world. And like, so I've had some women say there wouldn't even be insecurities that they would have with them. I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. So something you get clowned on by guys is something that women will truly love you for. Um, I never knew as far as even just like for my physical features, I never knew how powerful my eyes were. And so women would say that they're like, Demarcus, the way you look at me is just like, oh my gosh, like you got to stop looking at me like that. And I literally would always say, like, what are you talking about? Like I'm literally just like making eye contact. Like I'm not even trying to do anything intentionally. But um, a big thing for me, I told myself a while back, I said, when I go out on dates or when I'm like around people, I said, you know what, I want to pay attention more because I feel like my mind could be all over the place. I could be on my phone. I could just be in all different, doing all different types of things. So I made it a point to where I'm around people to literally have my phone down. I started changing that like in college sometime. And even the way in which I'll be like, especially if I'm on a date with a woman, I'm in the presence of a woman having a convo, like I'm literally glued in. Like eyes is on the woman. I'm listening to what she got to say. again, with anybody, I'm focusing on the conversation, but specifically if I'm on a date, like I'm really like deep into her soul because I really want to understand every part about the person, and I just really want to learn and more so have a good time as well. But not to get too off topic, but as I've gotten older, when it comes to as far as working out, this season has been a great season for me. It's been one where I've been the most disciplined ever. And even in times like say in the past couple months where as far as like the diet and stuff hasn't been the best, I've still known what I need to do, but also I've been really consistent in my workout still. So I've given myself periods throughout this weight loss where I've allowed myself to eat certain type of ways. I've allowed myself um, to go into older habits because let's be real, with any type of diet that you go on or any type of like transformation, you're going to have moments where you start to go back into that old type of mindset where you're going to be having temptation. And so, it's different than as far as relationship temptation. But if you think about like sweets and stuff like that, this is something where you've got to be able to say, you know what, okay, I'm going to let myself kind of splurge, but I'm going to take things away. And so, because at the same time, like it was different than a relationship, you're dealing with somebody else. As far as with splurging on food and stuff like that, it's only you. So the more that you can allow yourself to, in a sense, get away with some of those things, but be consistent in other areas, you're eventually going to have a point to where you're like, hey, I got to snap out of this. Like, I've been putting in too much work. I don't even feel like doing this today. Like, you're eventually going to be able to change your mindset, right? So for me, during this period of losing weight, it's allowed me to be consistent in so many different areas. And it's allowed me to see a version of myself physically that I truly love and embrace. And even days where I do see myself in the mirror, if it's like, I slipped off the diet a bit or may not have worked out as much in that type of week, I still see the progress from which I made over the year in itself. And I see the consistency in how I continue to show up for myself in the gym and stuff, even on days where I don't want to, and that allows me to keep flowing. There's plenty of days where I don't feel like really going to the gym, and something in my life is like DeMarcus, get up and go. Guys continue to push me to move in that direction. Also, even when I think about as far as eating wise, I may have some days where I'm like splurging, but then me going into a day where I fast becomes super easy because I could just be going through life and I'm just like, you know what, like let me take a break for the day. Let me focus on something else. And because I made that something that's consistent within my life, to get into those spaces where I can get back on point and really be locked into my zone, it's not hard for me. So that would be something to answer the first question. Um, the second question was, um, what's something Yeah, actually, I answer both. I answer both. So, what's something that you didn't like about yourself that before you embrace? So, yeah, I would say like they can really all go in together, but definitely as far as something I'm proud of myself that I was kind of shocked that I got into as far as the mindset wise was the working out, and something I've embraced now is my physical appearance. But again, they both work off of each other because I knew for myself that I was going to take time to really lock in. I told myself last year, I said, we're going to find a way to really, really focus. And I knew that it was going to be colder. I knew there wasn't as many things really going on consistently. So I said, let me make this a time to really remove myself from a lot of stuff and let me just focus on me. And it's fall right now, going into wintertime soon. I'm going to be doing it even more this year. And I definitely, as far as, be having, a lot of time, like before I had somebody that I was seeing and was really enjoying that time. But now, I'm truly like chilling. Like for me as a man, like this is the time where I'm super happy for because um I'm spending all the time with myself. Like um I haven't been out dating, entertaining any woman. I haven't been out really going to events and stuff like I was, as far as part of social clubs and stuff like that. Like I've really taken a step back from a lot of things, but it's felt so great because even though it's been a tough season financially, and I haven't been able to do as many things on the outside, I've been able to do a lot within myself. And the dope thing about it, again, New York, there's so many free events you can go to. There's so much different things that doesn't cost you money. And there's so many events that people will send me where people will show love on that different type of stuff. But I've realized for me, this is probably the first time that this is the first time ever. I don't. Many people may not ever get to this point. This is the first time I can say like I've been able to truly sit with myself and nobody like I haven't had an attachment to anyone. Like even when I was in college, you'd have your roommates, right? So you're always around them, even though if you have your own spot. People can go on, back home, they can go on trips, but like you don't have an extended period where you're by yourself. Okay, when you grow up, when you're younger, you're always in the house, of course. When I got out of college, for me, I came back home. I went back home for a couple years. So even though I was downstairs in the basement, I still was around my parents. So I'm seeing them all the time. So I'm not really having space to myself. Then when I came to New York, I had roommates, so living with some friends, and then even though I had my own room and can do my own things, I'm still around other people all the time. And then, just as far as like dating and stuff like that, like, when I first moved to my apartment, I've been dating and, um, seeing someone for a minute. So now I'm at a point to where like, I'm truly sitting with them myself and truly only thing I have going on is just really focusing on me and my lifestyle. So it's not saying that I won't, um, be out here dating, may eventually, have someone that I'm seeing or in a situation with a relationship with, but like this is the first time where it's like fully just been me and I'm really loving it. I'm embracing it because there could many people may not ever get this time, some people may not get it back. And you have to really sit within yourself, and it's good just to be able just to be away from distractions and the things that just ain't serving you, and just to really focus on you. And also, even like I said, as far as friends and things that I'll communicate with, a lot of those have changed. So I've been more connected and dialed in with the people that are really on the same wavelength. And so just this whole transition period for me has just been a really significant one. So all of that, in regards to working out, changing my mindset, and then appreciating myself when it comes to different physical features. It allowed me to even find ways to appreciate myself more mentally and spiritually. So by doing that, this time that I have, I'm truly working on myself and being my best self. So um, for those two questions that I asked, if you can connect both of those answers that you have, I think that speaks even more volumes to the original questions themselves. But also, even as I'm sitting here talking to y'all, like I kind of went off script, but having the reflection that I've been able to have just really gets me excited for all the things that I have going for me in the future. And it allows me to truly continue and love to love evolving, loving to experience this time by myself. Like most of my friends, they in relationships, but I don't feel out of place at all, not one bit. I don't feel like I need to rush and get married, rush and get into a relationship. I know things that can go on in relationships. I know, there's things that can go well and all that, but that's not even none of those are even the point. I never feel pressure to do what everybody else is doing. A lot of people enjoy how I move. And even outside of relationships, like I'm just, people that can be stuck in these type of situations, that type of like there's so much is going on. But the point that I'm making is I love this time because I don't have to be doing what everybody else is doing. And the relationship piece was just a small example I could just think off the top of my head. But I don't feel out of place because I allow myself to create the space that DeMarcus wants for him and allow DeMarcus to create whatever version of life that he wants. So if I'm able to truly invest time into me with all the things that I just mentioned to y'all, and I'm able to continue working on making my best self and molding into my best self, I'm always going to find a way to feel whole, and everything else is just going to serve as an extension. So while some other people feel as if they have to have something else to connect them, I've been able to look at or have another person to connect them. I've been able to look at these different things in my life and figure out, okay, how can I truly embrace the things I didn't embrace before? And how can I allow those to help connect me in a different way that I haven't connected to myself before? And then connecting to source as well, which is this God and the Holy Spirit, like that just makes life feel way more fulfilling than trying to find it from things on the outside. Like when you got to truly sit with yourself, I'm telling you, like it allows you to see the world differently, and it allows you to feel the world differently and feel energy differently. So But I'm gonna end this episode early. It's your boy Demarcus. Really, those two questions. I guess we can maybe title the episode something about like um, what's something that the old you would be happy about for the new you or something. But it's gonna be something tied to like leveling up and glowing up. So definitely gonna have more topics we're gonna be discussing. But this is the life of a multifaceted. So you get a chance to hear the ins and outs of my life, and hopefully you can feel that you can relate to this, and you're somebody as you're leveling up that you have a community and people to share, your obstacles of life with. So it's your boy Demarcus, and I'm up out of hither.